What's up everybody, it's Critical. We're playing Undertale for the PC. Let's do this shit. Nah, it's Martintox. We're playing Undertale, released in 2015 for the PC by Toby Fox. And where we last left off, we fought and hung out with Undyne with very good results. And now where we're going to start exploring the, what might be the largest dungeon of sorts of the first half of the game, but definitely the worst part also. It's not necessarily bad, but there are a lot of issues I think are pretty flagrant and which are thankfully not present in the other dungeons, at least not issues of this scale. But before we do that, we're going to meet another major NPC, and that's Alphys, right there. Just wait for the lights to turn on, and there we go. Yeah, this is Alphys. This is Alphys. I gotta be real. This isn't the first audio recording of this. This was actually uploaded, but then I realized the audio commentary was absolute fucking trash. Well, thanks to a friend, actually. Anyway, that's not important. She's the real scientist, and the thing is, she's actually been watching you this entire time. Remember those cameras we saw in the bushes and in the trees, especially in Snowden, actually? I don't think there were any in Waterfall, but that might be my memory failing me. But yeah, those cameras were actually her watching you, which is, actually it's not really that creepy considering the character, isn't this is honestly my least favorite character of Undertale, actually maybe tied with another one we're going to see very soon, but definitely my least favorite. But looking at this scene, I can get why someone wouldn't understand why, because honestly, even going back here on this third playthrough, it wasn't actually as bad as I remembered it. So make that a result of reading shit on the web and influencing my perception of the game instead of what the actual opinions I get when playing it. Oh, so she mentioned Mettaton, a robot with human killing features, which yeah, basically she fucked up real bad. Also, while I can't speak much for Alphys's character, I can definitely say a lot about her facial expressions. They were absolutely fucking incredible. Especially the one we're gonna see right now. And another one we saw some time ago. I'm gonna tell you when we see it again. Anyway. Oh yes. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever, it's going to take 10 more seconds until we actually see the fucker, but this is going to be... Oh yeah, and I also said oh yes before him. Yeah, this is Mettaton. And he's a showbot. Entertainer, I guess. It's one of those, well, honestly, the character explains itself so far. This is the other of my other least favorite character of Undertale. But the reasons why don't exactly show up here. They actually show up much later. Not this episode, probably the next one, or the one after that, or the one after. I don't know, within the next 1 or 2 episodes. I don't know how long Hotland is gonna take. Honestly, considering how far I got in this recording, it might actually take 3 episodes. Either way, back to more relevant stuff. This is the first sort of encounter you will have with Mettaton through the entirety of Hotland. This is the first of like 4 or something. There are quite a lot of them. But to be fair, they all do something fairly different. We're going to see the second one near to the end of this episode. So this is a quiz, pretty much. But while it starts off fairly easily, you're not going to be able to get this right on your first run. Impossible, unless you're a fucking genius or something, or unless you're good at observation, in which case you can see that Alphys is giving you the answers. As for the quiz itself, it's pretty fucking good. Like this one, this is the first really insane question, but it gets even better as it goes on. Even better. Count on your victory. Wow. Yeah, now this one. Actually, fun fact. I completely fucked up this quiz on my first playthrough. I simply didn't see that Alphys gave you the answers, so I just kept fucking up every question, even the ones I would be getting right. Yeah, if you say Frogget, you fuck up on this one. Yeah, I completely failed the quiz. It was hilarious because... And even the easier questions, I didn't really manage to do well because... Oh yeah, I was trying to remember what I said in my earlier recording. This is actually the second one. The first one was actually uploaded, but then it's, you know, it's not exactly professional. A lot of shit talking for very little reason. What was I going to say? I missed a lot of great questions right now. Oh. Yeah, so at this point Alphys fucks up again, but it's okay because we're not exactly going to be in much danger. By the way, what was I going to say? Well, I guess there isn't anything. Oh, right! Alphys is a weeb. I just remembered. Yeah, Alphys is a weeb. Not in the same way as Undyne, though. She's kinda like, nah, never mind, forget that. This question is amazing. Any answer is correct, but on my first playthrough, I actually said the human because I was legitimately getting that vibe in Alphys' initial introducing monologue. Thankfully, that's not the case. That would be honestly pretty weird, but I didn't really consider that on my first playthrough, strangely enough. Hindsight. Sure is a funny thing, isn't it? Actually, if you say don't know, it actually says some pretty interesting stuff about parallel universes, but as we are right now, that doesn't really have much importance. After we play this game all the way through, though, it's gonna be a good spot to go back on, to read back on. I guess that's one way to put it. More drama, more romance, more bloodshed. Yeah, no blood is shed, not in the entirety of this goddamn game. Huh, now I wonder, Hey, I wonder, if a human gets attacked by a monster, does the human bleed? But it's magic, then again. Oh, Alphys may be my least favorite character of Undertale, but she is actually pretty useful, namely for this thing. She's going to fix up your phone, and it's actually going to be really, really goddamn useful, because the upgrade she's going to give you allows you not only to access the box you could only get to in specific places beforehand, but also get access to a second box. Yeah, you could have an entire box dedicated to dog residue. It's some of the hottest shit, let me tell you that. Actually, dog residue, more like dog salad rather. Dog residue on its own is fucking useless. It's not like you're gonna make a lot of detours to Temmie Village either way. Actually, this, no, never mind. We're not going to see. I was thinking about a specific store, but we're not going to see that this episode. Maybe not even the next one. Also, I'm pretty sure this is a bug because I don't remember seeing that before. Alphys' sprite is directly behind the door. And she was walking for a moment, then she just stopped. Strange. Space behind the wall is only a few feet wide, so, you know, make of that what you will. Because the revelations are plenty. Not in this episode, though. There are hardly any revelations aside from the ones we already got. Well, I'm very happy. Oh, the noodles. I'm going to take packaged noodles because what happens when you use it is honestly incredible. When am I going to use it? Oh yeah, on the next boss fight. I'm going to use it on the next boss fight. If only because the scenario is going to be even more wacky. That's one way to say. As for Alphys' lab, there isn't that much important, or rather very interesting plot-related, or lore-related flavor text. There is one thing that's actually pretty important, but if I told you what it was, it would be super hardcore spoilers, so I won't even tell you what it is. Not by far. So now we're going to go upstairs, and that's where we're actually going to be, we're actually going to see the Underground's very warped perception of human history. So, did you wonder why Undyne is such a fucking weeba? Well, that's because the human history books located inside Alphys' lab are fucking manga. It says comic, but basically manga is pretty much Japanese comic books, in a way. Same way that anime is just Japanese animation. It's literally, I mean, anime. Guys, that reminds me of, no, that would be, no, it's not nice to talk shit about people, especially when it has no relevance to this game. I have to apologize, there isn't actually that much to talk about in this, really, in this episode. The scenery of Hotland isn't exactly that, how to say? There isn't really that much to look at in Hotland. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I realize there isn't much scenery, at least in Waterfall. There were quite a few hidden things to look at. In Hotland, though, it's just lots of lava, and, well, you're going to see that when we get out of the lab. And we're going to see that clean dress. Not in this episode, not in the next one, not in the one after that. It's going to be 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 episodes from now. Oh, I better make sure not to. I better make sure to check back on this particular instance of this episode, just to make sure I'm good at counting or provision or whatever. Provision. Is that, can that be said in English? I'm pretty sure I'm doing a Francism. Is that even a word either? Well, either way. Oh, in a Mettaton poster, because Undyne. Oh no, that's alright. Alphys built Mettaton. So even if, so even considering that whole exchange, this is my biggest gripe with Hotland, and my biggest gripe with Alphys altogether. The status updates. It's not necessarily a bad thing in of its own, even if I really don't, like the way that, the behavior that Alphys exhibits during them. But more on that later, because we got a battle right here. Vulcan is fucking adorable. Just look at that. A volcano cutie. Also, I'm gonna get a hit by lightning in maybe 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Yeah, I fucked up. Oh, if you're wondering what that just was, I'm pretty sure that was me checking the time. I was wondering how much time that... it took more than 12 minutes getting to this battle. Huh. Honestly, I thought it would be a bit more. Or a bit less. Whatever. Anyways, the only way I keep lingering around here is because I was convinced Vulcan would do a specific thing that was pretty cool, but is done by a different monster. One we're going to see later this episode, and the thing in question, and we're going to see this thing in question also. I was just thinking about a specific encounter including 2 monsters of Hotland, but we don't see that this episode, and considering I know very little about what I'm talking about, I can't say much. Now, back to the status updates. The status updates aren't horrendous in of their own. I mean, even if I really don't like the behavior that Alphys exhibits in them, you know, being a weeb is one thing. That's one thing. But we're gonna see a bit of that later. What I don't like is that they really break up the flow of Hotland. If it were for the status updates, I'm pretty sure that it would last a lot less long. A lot less long. Is that a way to put it? I don't know. Hotland would be a lot shorter. I honestly think it's going to take 3 episodes to get through this, including another much smaller dungeon that comes right after Hotland. I don't know. This is another monster, Thunderplane. Now that I think about it, the design isn't very original. The attacks, though, are pretty cool, but the design isn't really original. If you're interested, the hat belongs to a certain Romelia Scarlet, a character from Touhou 6. The most popular one, either way. Yeah, I played Touhou. I'm not really big on that series. Definitely not as big as I used to be, but I did play some Touhou. So I guess it kind of explains why I don't have that much trouble playing Undertale? I don't know. I'm not sure. All you gotta do is approach Sunderplane. And getting close, you're gonna see, you probably already guessed just by looking at it, but yeah, see? All you gotta do is get within the green area. So yeah, you know, tsundere and all. Yeah, see? Oh, there are actually more cactuses in Hotland, but unfortunately I forgot to check them out. Unless I didn't reach them yet. Huh, maybe. Well, I'm gonna keep a close eye on this footage just to make sure. Now we have a frying pan. This is actually a really cool item. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep that until the end of the... until very late in the game. Well, late in the early first... Well, I'm going to keep it for a while because what it does is add plus 4 HP to whatever healing item you use with it equipped. So considering my approach, the pacifist approach, is not to give out any damage and rather survive, this is extremely useful, except if you're susceptible to getting hit. So I'm going to equip this, and since the torn notebook... Oh yeah, I put this in there, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be selling it. It will be too much of a drag to go back to Temmie Village, let alone record that. Alright, so we can see more of Alphys's behavior, which I'm not really a fan of, developing. I'm sure there's going to be the one big example of... I'm pretty sure a very good example of what exactly I don't like about this is going to come up. Not now, though. Oh, these are the lasers. These are the lasers. They show up for a while during Hotland and the smaller dungeon that appears right after it. You know, they're pretty interesting, you know, gimmick mechanic for the dungeon either way. So there are orange ones and there are blue ones. So they do exactly what you think they do. You gotta move through the orange ones. You gotta stay still so you don't get hit by the blue ones. Yeah, for once, Alphys asks a very good question. Honestly, I'm not sure why I didn't even question that myself when I read this. Anyways, I'm gonna get hit by a laser right there. Yeah, I do this like a champ. And we switch this off. Shit, I'm really waiting for... Wow, this is the first time I'm eagerly expecting status updates. Yeah! Oh, wait! Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. What I really don't like is this sort of self-deprecating behavior. I'm sure quite a few people would tell me I'm full of shit for this, but I think this type of behavior is really not good. It doesn't make you modest. Saying, especially when you're an artist, when you say, oh, my work is so bad and stuff, I get at times why, you know, you're saying this in good fun, you're just fucking around. But if you do this really often, it's not really endearing. It just makes you obnoxious. It's not a good way to be humble or modest. And the thing is, Alphys is a lot of that. She is a lot of that. Though, to be fair, and this is to be extremely fair, that type of behavior is actually explained, and that is something I could say. This is something I definitely cannot say to a lot of other characters of people, or people, let's say characters, who exhibit that same behavior. So Toby, I'll give you points for that one. But yeah, this is a big reason why I think Hotland is the worst part of the game. Not only do the status updates slow down, completely stop the pace of the game, to completely stop your momentum, but they exhibit a behavior that I find completely, you know, I don't find really good. I could almost call it disingenuous, but I don't think this is the right situation to say this in. I don't think Alphys. I think Alphys would really be the least susceptible character in this entire game to be disingenuous that way. Surprisingly enough, I guess. So here we get more info about Mettaton. Yeah, he's an entertainment robot, so he's the primary star in the underground. But while he is one of my least favorite characters, I can't get into much detail on exactly why, because one of the big reasons appears a lot later. So it's either going to be next episode or the episode after that. So you're gonna have to bear with me. Though there is a fairly good instance of this later in this episode. So back to the game itself. I already completed 2 puzzles. I'm pretty sure you can guess what exactly the goal is. You gotta move the blocks, then hit the ship. It's an interesting puzzle, but at least these 2 instances of the puzzle are pretty damn easy. At least for me, I completed that shit in like 3 seconds? 5? I don't even know. Alright, we're almost going to get to this to Mettaton's second appearance. Oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have spoiled that. Well, too bad. I'm pretty sure you'll already have spoiled yourself one way or another. Oh, this is the facial expression I was talking about. I love that facial expression. Alphys' facial expressions are, I'm probably repeating myself, but they are amazing. They say so much. If they were accompanied with no text, I'm pretty sure we'd still get a good idea of her mannerisms that way. It's honestly impressive how many facial expressions she gets. They're almost as good as Undyne's, if not as good. Right, so this is the appearance I was talking about. It's pretty good. It's pretty funny. But the more I look at this, it's more like, I don't know, there's something about this that doesn't make me like Mettaton that much. It's like, oh. I was almost going to reference the earlier episode, but it might not be the best time to say it. Now, while I'm not exactly hot on the whole Mettaton thing, what is pretty interesting is that there is flavor text, even here. Take your time, there is some stuff to look at, and there will be stuff to look at after Mettaton is gone. Seriously, I mean, Undertale at this point is pretty much, you pretty much expect this from Undertale, but it really impresses me how much fucking time Toby Fox put into it. Just looking at all the places, all the times at which you would check out an item. 9,000 degrees, I almost saw a meme in there. Be lucky I re-recorded this. Let me tell you, the first recording was garbage. I mean, it wasn't completely horrendous, but it was completely uncontrolled. You gotta stay controlled. You gotta, especially when you do a sort of more or less professional overview of a video game. When you do this, you gotta be less hyperactive, less emotional. You gotta be more like Eliza. You gotta be cool. In 2 ways imaginable. Also, yeah, he's almost gonna kill you, but then, oh, saved by the ring, or saved by the bell, whatever. Actually, this next exchange made me think of quite a few things. It made me realize that the sort of issue with Mettaton's plan there, considering souls are extremely rare in the underground. I mean, if that does anything, all it does is ruin Mettaton's credibility as a people's entertainer, but okay, that was pretty good. Well, if that does anything, then it's ruined Mettaton's reputation as a people's entertainer, considering it. I don't think a lot of people in the underground would be able to get their hands on a soul, let alone that they would be able to. I just said the same thing twice, I call that emphasis, whatever. Also, how would he know? How would he be able to know what a human soul tastes like? Honestly, I think that's the bigger question in this entire ordeal. Also, I don't think the shelves on here loop extremely well. I mean, look at it when it stops. See, it doesn't seem like it loops extremely well. Yeah, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It's really weird. It's maybe it just looks that worse from afar because I'm not watching this on full resolution. It's a smaller preview screen in Sony Vegas. But yeah, those shells, they're quite something, aren't they? Honestly, I'm surprised I have this much to talk about. I initially thought that this wasn't exactly a very exciting part of the game. But I guess I was proven wrong by myself. Alright, so this is the second sort of diversion. This is, you know, dodging shit. Except this time you dodge popcorn. Or more like non-popcorn than actual popcorn. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Like, any good game needs to have this sort of sequence. Gee, how much... gee, just wouldn't you look at the time? Also, what is that? I'm pretty sure that last thing Mettaton threw at us was... Honestly, I was wondering if is that sugar or milk? Is that... No, that might be flour. I'm pretty sure that's flour. I originally thought on my first recording that this was milk, but honestly, the way that the... Yeah, take a look. Look at the particles dripping from Eliza. That doesn't look like milk, that looks more like flour. But then again, maybe it is milk. I don't know. It's one of the greatest mysteries of Undertale. Honestly, I don't know why. I wonder if someone asked Toby about that. Wait. I probably could figure this out just by looking at what Mettaton was holding. Yeah, I better make sure to look at that specifically when I do this in post. Because I want to have much to edit. I won't be clipping the audio of this episode, no sir. Thank fuck. It took like 20 minutes to fix all the goddamn audio clipping on the first recording. It was absolutely absurd. But yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Mettaton. And this scene wasn't exactly making me like him more. But it's one of those can't put my finger on it scenarios. There is only a really substantial, there's only real substantial evidence of why I feel that way later on. So keep your ass clenched. So now that we got this out of the way, we can finally continue. Yes, you might be. I'm repeating myself. You might be surprised, but we actually get some progress going here. Also, see that building in the distance? That's the core, the source of all power from the underground. Yeah, and it converts geothermal energy into magical electricity by... Well, you know, Alphys is actually, you know, making a concise explanation. Now, the core, yeah, it's got an elevator, it leads directly to the castle. That's where we need to go. But, who built the core? We're not exactly going to know. Probably not. Most likely not, because any information concerning that depends on some particular encounters, which we haven't been getting at all. Hey, don't you like recording shit the next day? Well, either way, the particular encounters in question give out more info on who built the core, but for the moment we haven't seen any of them, and normally we would have seen some. All we got so far is the wrong number song, but that doesn't really give much substantial information. So I don't think we'll be getting much of this. Maybe I'll bring that up in a much later episode when after we're done going through the game. Oh yeah, so Sans is back. You can buy hot dogs from him. The thing is, you can even buy hot dogs from him even when your inventory is full. And the next, the whole thing that comes afterwards is quite a piece of work. Oh, while I'm at it, I've talked about the status updates already, but there could have been a very easy way of fixing that issue. Toby could have simply made them, made them appear, but not force you to skip them like a normal dialogue box. They could have been like more or less a dialogue box that appears and disappears automatically. It would have made it would have made the action a lot smoother. Though, then again, there would probably be the issue of looking at where you're going and at the entire screen, which I guess would have been just as difficult figuring out, but not really as... Well, either way, I really feel it would have fixed the whole issue about the status updates breaking the momentum of Hotland. Also, Eliza's got about 30 hot dogs on her head. Well, she used to, either way. Now we're back in the, yeah, we're back in Hotland. And, oh yeah, completely forgot to talk about that, but the music for Hotland, another medium, it's one of the best songs on the soundtrack. But more of that later, because we got another encounter going. This is Pyrope. This is the other really big Homestuck reference in Undertale. And in a way, it's, I guess it's just as clever as Aaron. Pyrope is the last name of a character from Homestuck, Terezi Pyrope. But aside from that, this monster shares just about no resemblance. It's pretty much just a play on the name. So I guess that's clever. Oh, also Pyrope does that thing I thought Vulcan would do, which is cause the screen to go all woozy like this. So I think it's pretty interesting. Also, I get utterly destroyed with this thing. It's amazing. I don't even know how badly I goof up this particular attack. I'm going to keep sticking around for some reason because I'm almost going to try to. What exactly am I trying to do right now? Oh, I'm going to invite. Christ, I should have taken so long on this battle. I think what I'm going to do is invite Pyrope. Probably so I could make sure that I did that thing relating to the credits. Probably, but it was probably not necessary. I know. Either way, we're out of here. And we're gonna continue. Oh, we're going to see a hidden room in this very spot. It's in this very spot. Well, accessible through this specific room. Since I'm just looking for some dog salad, I'll just start up straight away. There is a hidden corridor, a hidden hallway, literally right to the left, right to the a bit to the left, opposite the corridor leading down. You can see right there. And it leads to some sort of art club with cacti. And basically, at a specific day and hour, a hidden monster appears called So Sorry. This monster was actually the result of someone donating, well, giving a back, well, yeah, donating $1,000 to the Undertale Kickstarter. And the backer reward for that is that you have one of your characters appear in the game. I don't know if it was specifically as a boss, but it has your character appear in the game. The thing is, the guy who donated, who gave $1,000, well, he was a guy, I guess, and he's into some deviant stuff. Now, the following details are kind of hazy. I don't know if it was Toby or the guy in question who said that the character in question should really be out of the way and shouldn't have any relevance in the story in of itself, but in the end that's what happened. Honestly, it's really not surprising that Toby would make sure to put him as far out of the way as possible, though to be fair, he did salvage the original design to the best of his abilities. If you look for the original design, you'll see why I'm saying that. Anyway, I'll cut him some slack concerning this. I don't think he was really able to refuse including So Sorry in the first place. Also, this is hilarious. It's all for the better that this is a phone call instead of a status update. Then again, that wouldn't make any sense. Yeah. Man, that face is incredible. It's that's the face of someone who commits a crime against humanity by accident. Now this puzzle, it sure looks complicated, doesn't it? You'll be surprised, but I actually got stuck on this for a little bit when I first got to it. But now that I know the solution, it's exceedingly easy. So you see the switches change the placement of the arrows. Everything's good so far, right? Well, look, all you gotta do is this, move around, bring it uptown, go back, and go back up, and bam! The arrow will point left. If you don't keep an eye out for this, you could stay in this loop forever and ever. Which is, I don't know if that says more about, I don't know if that would say more about the clever design of the puzzle or the player's stupidity. I don't know, I guess it depends. Then again, there's so much shit to look at. I understand why someone wouldn't realize what to actually do. So yeah, we got another mouse. I think that's the last mouse we see in this entire game. Keeps. Oh yeah. Oh, the determination meme. Oh, it's become so widely spread. And it's so badly used. Well, either way, this is the end of our first episode about Hotland. On the next one, well, we'll keep going around Hotland. This was Martintox. See ya. Nah, I'm just fucking around. We still got one thing to look at. On request from the poor soul who kindly told me that my original recording was garbage, I was asked to go back to the room where we met Pyro because there is a specific call the person in question wanted me to find. So here we go. We're gonna call Papyrus and we're going to get something magical. Well, let me tell you, it was worth coming back here. This is a masterpiece. Well, either way, this was pretty much the only thing. This was Martintox. I'll actually see you later.